Have you ever done something that you thought would never happen? Like it almost seemed impossible until one day it wasn't. And then when it's all done and you step back, you think, shit, I actually did it. Well, that's exactly what happened to me because I wrote a song with my favorite singer and it's out now on Spotify. And what's most special about this song is the time it took to get here and what the song actually means. And in today's video, I want to share all the details on how it all came together. So let's go. So the story actually started 10 years ago when my wife and I welcomed our first daughter into this world. Shout out my OG baby, albertjohndevera. Now, if you are a parent, then you understand this, but when you become a parent for the first time, something in you changes. I was filled with so much joy and so much love because of this little girl. And I've never been good at expressing my feelings. Just ask my therapist. But the best way that I know how to do it is through this. Playing guitar and writing songs. And that's exactly what I did 10 years ago. I wrote a song for my daughter. Actually, I didn't write it with this guitar. I wrote it with this guitar, my Fender Strat. This song was so easy to write. Actually, I don't even remember writing it. It just poured out of me. I was so inspired. And in my opinion, it's the best song I've ever written, definitely at that time. And the working title of this song was, of course, called Daughter. But I had two problems with this song. One, I suck at singing, like I'm the worst. So I can't do with this song what I want to do with it, which is make it an anthemic, huge sing-along love song to my daughter. And problem number two, 10 years ago when I wrote this song, I had basically been retired from playing in bands. It's not like I had a band where I can go to the guys at rehearsal or practice and say, hey guys, check out this song I wrote. So I literally had nobody to share this song with. So essentially, after writing this song 10 years ago, I had an instrumental track that I loved, that I had in my back pocket, and I just put it on my phone and I would play it in the truck every once in a while. Now, over the last 10 years, like I said, I was retired from playing in bands, but I was still a musician. I still recorded songs, mostly in a spare bedroom or in a basement or like now in my home studio. And the reason why I had retired was because I started a new career. Occasionally, I would meet other musicians, either through friends or online, and they'd be singers. And I kind of liked what they were doing, and I would talk to them and ask them if they wanted to collaborate. And when I did, I would always send them this song. And usually the response I got after sending them the song was, hey dude, great song. Let me get back to you and I'll work on it. And then I would never hear from them again. This went on for years and years and years, and I never found a singer to collaborate with the song. And just like in the beginning, I literally accepted the fact that this is just an instrumental song that I have that was just a timestamp for that point in my life when I first had my first daughter. Then out of nowhere, this time last year, which was December of 2023, AJ Perdomo from Dangerous Summer and Broken Glow Sticks put a post out on Instagram account saying that he was taking on work as a guest feature vocalist or top lead line work. If you're not familiar with that, basically what that means is that if you have a song, you send it to him, you and him will work together and he will write his parts or write the whole thing for you. Now, one thing to note here is that I've been listening to the Dangerous Summer since 2013 when they released the Golden Record. Go check that record out. I bought that CD, and yes, I was still buying CDs in 2013. I've been a fan of this band ever since that record. And so when I saw AJ's post about taking on lead line work and a guest feature vocal, I knew I had to message him. Now, it took me a couple weeks to actually contact him, but at the beginning of this year, January 15, 2024, I sent him this email. I'm gonna read it to you. Hey AJ, first, I wanna say I'm a big fan of your music, and I've been listening to The Dangerous Summer since the Golden Record. Go check out the record. Catholic Girls, which is track number 1 on that album, friggin' fantastic. Catholic Girls is my all-time favorite of yours. I'm writing to inquire about having you write and sing on a song I wrote. I recorded it at my home studio and have had it, I had some typos there, since my daughter Ella was born. Again, this was 10 years ago when my daughter Ella was born. I'm not a singer, and you are a fucking great one, and love your melodies. What would something like this cost if you are or would be interested in taking it on? I would love to release the song, maybe an EP. Go check out my IG. I post guitar content, blah, blah, blah. I send him my Instagram account, and I sent him an MP3 of the song, which of course is called Daughter, which is down there. Now, when I sent this email to AJ, I had 0 expectations. One, it had been 10 years since I wrote the song, and I'd not found anybody to sing or collaborate with. And 2, this was AJ Perdomo from The Dangerous Summer, one of my favorite bands. And I'm just a journeyman musician who's retired, who now makes YouTube videos about guitar pedals. And yeah, I had 0 expectations. So I didn't know what to expect. So 1 week goes by and I hear nothing. Another week, still nothing. And then the 3rd week, still nothing. And then it was a month and still nothing. And then it was another month, which takes us to March of this year, which is 2 months after I sent the initial email, and still nothing. And at this point, 2 months after I sent the initial email to AJ Perdomo, I gave up on the idea that this was gonna happen. It was status quo for this song, and we were just gonna continue on with it as just an instrumental track that I play for my kids in the truck whenever we're driving to school. All right, kids, this is the part of the story where it gets good. In April of this year, 3 months after I sent AJ Perdomo an email with my demo asking him to play on this song and not hearing back from him, I got an email from AJ Perdomo, and I'm gonna read it to you. Hey man, I just saw this email for the first time. I don't know how I hadn't before. This is really good. Dudes, AJ Perdomo thinks my song is good. Would you still want to explore smashing this? Love it. Dude, I was so stoked when I got this email. I was at work. It was awesome because I wasn't expecting it, and just the fact that he said that he loved my work was an amazing feeling, and it was so unexpected. So I actually didn't respond to his email for I think 3 days or so, and for whatever reason, mostly I think I needed time to process that this might actually happen, or that it was gonna happen. And I got back to him and I just told him how stoked I was that this was actually a possibility and that I was a big fan of his. And so we went back and forth with the logistics of the song and what he needed from me. And we also talked about the price. Now, I'd love to share the price that I invested in the song, but I want to keep that between he and I because yeah, I just don't want there to be any confusion or any bad information out there because maybe you want to work with him and he has a different price. So I just don't want to put that out there. But if you do want to work with him or want to work with somebody, obviously contact that person. So I'm going to leave the price at that. And within a week of going back and forth via email, man, AJ was such a pro. Within a week, he had sent me all his vocal tracks, all the doubles, and a demo of what the track could sound like. And I gotta be honest with you, the first time I heard that first verse, to hear his voice on a song that I wrote for my daughter and that I've been listening to for the last 10 years, it gave me goosebumps.
Sunshine in my eyes, I'm gonna show you the world under the kite of the moon. Stay just how you are now, watch those colors shining through. I've gotta tell you the truth, there's nothing brighter than you.
Now, after living with the song for about a week or two, I felt like it was missing something. It could have been done at that point, but I just felt like we could have just given it a little bit more of something. I grew up in the Warped Tour era of the early 2000s. I went to countless Warped Tours at Thunderbird Stadium at UBC here in Vancouver. And I love bands like Blink-182, Jimmy Eat World, Taking Back Sunday, Thrice. And what I love about their sets and their songs, that everybody would sing along. And I felt like Give and Take, which became the name of the song, was missing that sing-along piece. And I emailed AJ back and I said, hey man, is it possible to come up with a whoa-ho part? I know it sounds silly. I think within a couple days, he sent me an email with like 8 vocal tracks, 8 vocal stacks of the whoa part, and I built the outro around that, and it just makes the song, and it just gave it that lift, it just gave it that sing-along feel. Yeah, I think it's my favorite part of the song is the whoa part in the bridge and the outro. Yeah, and at that point, I knew the song was complete. Now that the song is out, I have some thoughts. Number one, AJ Perdomo, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to work with you. You just smashed this song. I'm so proud of it, and we are 100% gonna do more. And if you take anything at all from this video and this story, is this: you're never too old to do something great. And if you do something, just go all in. Just send it. And 2, focus on the process and not the outcome. The joy in all of this has been creating this song, working with AJ Perdomo, and later like mixing it with my friend Al Potiker. And now that it's out in the universe, it doesn't matter if 10 people listen to it or 1 million people listen to it. I think I've already won because I put it out there. And I just want to end the video on this note. This song is for my babies, Ella and Sloan. Daddy loves you. And see, I keep telling you guys, Dad is cool. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
I'm gonna show you the world